very good evening and welcome to the midweek edition of Prime TV News. I'm Ishara Nautuna. Let's look at your headlines at first. A National Trust Fund for Children's Security. The Premier inquires about construction work of the Deniaya Hospital. A committee to probe on drug-addicted parliamentarians. A major avalanche buries skiers. And now for your news in detail. The Colombo District Summit of the National Programme of Let's Protect Children was held at the Suktadasa Indoor Stadium under the aegis of President Maithripala Sirisena today. The President was decided to set up an interim board for the purpose till the authority is commissioned. The decision was arrived at a meeting held under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena. The cabinet memorandum, which was forwarded by the President to establish an authority to rehabilitate drug addicts, was given approval by the Cabinet of Ministers recently. The interim board will serve as a platform to accomplish goals of the authority. Venerable Kuppiyawate Bodhananda Thera, retired Senior DIG Sirisena Herath, Director of the Presidential Drug Prevention Task Force, Dr. Samantha Kitalavarachi, Consultant Dr. Jai Mahadisilva, Tanuja Mahesh, Dr. Ramani Pereira, former Prison Commissioner Gamini Jai Singha, and former Ministerial Secretary Shanti Naukarasam are the members of the interim board. The newly appointed members called on President Maithripala Sirisena and had a discussion on future events. The President also pointed out the importance of using cutting-edge technology to rehabilitate drug addicts. This will be the very first drug addicts rehabilitation authority in Sri Lanka. Measures have been taken to form a drug addicts rehabilitation authority. The aim of the Let's Protect Children initiative is to protect the future generation from all malevolent factors. President Maithripala Sirisena, who arrived at the district summit of the national program, was warmly welcomed. The project has been implemented by the Presidential Secretariat as one of its major programs. A complete array of programs are being implemented island-wide by the Let's Protect Children national program to save the children from evil, including child abuses and malnutrition. The programs cover under the initiative includes personality developments, education, welfare, etc. School children with special needs in the Colombo district received financial grants and other facilities at the event. The President also involved in the program to hand over equipment that need to ensure drinking water facilities in schools. Provisions were granted to the child probationary centres in the Colombo district under the patronage of the President. Meanwhile, a set of guidelines that has been compiled for daycare centres was presented to the President by the Minister of Women and Child Affairs. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has instructed the officials to expedite construction work of the Deniaya Hospital. The hospital is to be fully fledged with all the facilities, including a cardiology theatre. The Prime Minister gave the instructions at a special meeting held at Temple Trees on construction activities of the Deniaya Hospital. Minister Sagala Ratnayaka and key officials were present at the event. The hospital in Deniaya is in a poor condition and people of the area have to travel to the Karapitiya Hospital or the Madra General Hospital for treatments. The new hospital will facilitate a large number of people in Deniaya, Hiniduma, Moravaka and several other areas. The hospital modernisation will add 600 beds for the facility. A land block from the Hanford estate of Deniaya has been earmarked for the construction. A three-member committee has been appointed to inquire about the statement made by State Minister Ranjan Ramanayake on illegal drug-addicted parliamentarians. The committee has been appointed under the leadership of Leader of the House, Minister Lakshman Kiriyala. State Minister Eran Wickramaratne and Parliamentarian Ashumara Singha are the other members of the committee. Nishanka Nanaikara will serve as a secretary. The decision was made when the UNP parliamentarians group gathered at the parliamentary complex under the patronage of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe today. The parliamentarians discussed on the comment made by Ranjan Ramanayake at length. The committee was advised to submit a report following their study on the issue. It was also asked to consult Ranjan Ramanayake to obtain information. The committee report is scheduled to be produced before the UNP's working committee meeting on Friday. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe paid his last respects to late Venerable Naramani Sri Buddha Rakkita Thera. The Premier arrived at the Gangula Sri Parama Vishuddharamaya in Panadura to pay his last respects to the late Thera. Venerable Sri Buddha Rakita Thera was at 95 years of age at his demise. The late Thera used to be a member of the Tripitaka Compilation Board during the Sambuddha Jayantiya. Venerable Sri Buddha Rakita Thera was felicitated by President Maithripala Sirisena recently for his commitment to betterment of religion and culture in the country. The final rites will be conducted at the Urban Council grounds of Panadura today. Mohan De Silva will be able to contest for the chairmanship of the Sri Lanka Cricket and Ravin Wickramaratne for the vice chairmanship or assistant secretary. Regarding the Sri Lanka cricket election was taken up before the Court of Appeal. The agreement, which was arrived today before the Court of Appeal, will be forwarded to Cricket Election Committee. The Sri Lanka cricket's election will be held tomorrow. Meanwhile, former Lieutenant Commander of the Sri Lanka Navy, Chandana Prasad Hettiarachchi, and two other suspects who have been taken into custody in connection with abducting 11 people in Kotahena were re-remanded till the 6th of next month. The order was given when the case was taken up before the Fort Magistrate Ranga Disanayaka. The Mahava Magistrates Court today ordered to fix the case against the suspects of killing of elephant Dalaputtua of Galgamua to the 24th of April. The court also ordered to produce a report on mobile phone data of the suspects on the 24th of April. 8 suspects have been arrested in this connection and have been released on bail. 41st Nawam Perahara of the Hunupitiya Gangarama Vihare, Colombo paraded last night. President Maithripala Sirisena enshrined sacred relics in the casket on the auspicious elephant at the outset of the Perahara. Opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa, Minister Sagala Ratnayaka and several other politicians were present at the event. The Nawam Perahara was featured with complete array of cultural items representing different traditions in the country. The Nawam Perahara was organized under the purview of Chief Incumbent of the Gangarama Vihara, Venerable Galabuddha Sri Nanesara Thera. A large number of devotees witnessed the event. A program to hand over media equipment to district media units was held at the Government Information Department. The project is carried out under the purview of Minister Mangala Samaravira with the view of empowering district media units island-wide. Accordingly, computers, fax machines, cameras and several other equipment were distributed among the media units at a cost of 12 million rupees. The project aims to strengthen information campaign of government's development programs and policies. Director General of the Government Information Department, Nalaka Kalueva, said that digitalization of media landscape is essential with current developments in technology. He added that physical and human resources will undergo a huge transformation under the current administration. Former Director General of the Government Information Department, Sudarshana Gunawardena, highlighted that the general public is the backbone behind government's findings. He pointed out that public money is being spent for a vast array of development countrywide. Gunawardena highlighted that several massive development programs including Grama Shakti, Enterprise Sri Lanka and Gamperaliya are being implemented. According to the former Director General, the media outlets have an enormous capacity to calculate about the productivity of initiatives implemented by the government. The authorities have decided to suspend license of the fishing boats that engage in human smuggling or other illegal activities. State Minister Dilip Vedarachi has instructed the officials to take necessary steps to change the legislation in this connection with immediate effect. The State Minister was educated by fishing boat owners about illegal activities done by some elements and bad consequences caused on fisheries industry due to that situation. They have also urged the minister to come up with a mechanism to punish wrongdoers. Parliamentarian Kumara Velgama spoke about the presidential candidate to be fielded under the SLPP ticket. Parliamentarian Kumara Velgama was speaking to reporters following a program at the Badareli area. He said that the Rajapaksas would not let other politicians to be the presidential candidate of the SLPP. He added that even Mahinda Rajapaksa would not hesitate to nominate a Rajapaksa as the presidential candidate. Parliamentarian Vasudeva Nanaikara says composition of the Constitutional Assembly was intended to make a balance between the ruling party and the opposition. Vasudevan Naikara was speaking at a media briefing held at the parliamentary complex. He further said that the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was meant to secure the balance of power between the ruling party and the opposition. He emphasizes that eventually total control of the Constitutional Assembly went to the ruling party. Parliamentarian Mahindananda Aludgamage said that the Constitutional Council operates in the House. He added that hence parliamentarians are empowered to be critical on any move comes under the Constitutional Assembly. 300 liquor bottles that were hidden with the intention to sell in the Nawam full moon Poya were seized by the Norelia police. The police said that the liquor bottles were hidden at a business place in the Agarapatana area. The intention was to sell them at a higher rate on the Poya day. A suspect has been apprehended with the stock of liquor bottles. The raid was done by anti-vice squad of the Norelia police. 2 suspects have been arrested with domestically produced firearms. The suspects were arrested from the Kolavenigama area in Deniaya on a tip-off received by the Deniaya police. The suspects are scheduled to be produced before the Moravaka Magistrates Court. And now on to Biz News. The Asian Development Bank has approved a $50 million loan to the Regional Development Bank of Sri Lanka to provide affordable and accessible credit to rural, micro, small and medium-sized enterprises in the country. MSMEs have high growth potential, create more jobs and over time potentially increase the tax base at a quicker pace than larger enterprises. Because of their distribution over the whole country, they also help reduce regional inequalities. One of the means to address this challenge is through Regional Development Bank, a state-owned bank whose mission is to strengthen the living standards of the rural population by providing affordable and accessible credit facilities.
The benchmark all-share price index lost 17.16 points, close at 5,880.17, while the S&P Sri Lanka 20 index lost 16.44 points, close at 3,006.41. The turnover was 172.77 million rupees, with 4.5 million shares changing hands in 2,573 trades. The market capitalization at the end of the day was 2,748.44 billion rupees. Top 5 gainers of the day were S&B Leasing, Anilana Hotels, Balangoda Plantations, Amana Takaful and CW Mackey. While the top 5 losers were Blue Diamonds, Samsung International, Cargo Boat Development, TransAsia Hotels and Brown's Investments. Today's foreign purchases were 17.5 million rupees and foreign sales were 53.3 million rupees. There were 2 crossings today and the crossing turnover was 67.29 million rupees.